All right, everybody, welcome in. This is another Stormgate cast, and this is going to be a special edition. We are still casting some 2v2 games here, but this is going to be a 2v2 match that stars me. Woo! Oh, actually, this is not me. This is Thanks and Game Friend, conveniently putting their two town halls next to each other so that I can introduce them at the same time using that cool little mining trick. And over here, there's me. I'm algoweird. And this is my buddy, Play Weird, who is going to play weird. Actually, he's going to play standard, because he didn't notice my message at the beginning of the game that said, let's proxy. And I've gone ahead and made a bunch of buildings over here. This strategy is my best attempt to deal with my opponents here, Thank and Game Friend, both of whom are better players than I am, and possibly better players than Play Weird as well. I'm not sure. Both Play Weird and I are maybe in the platinum to diamond range. I haven't played enough 1v1 to actually be at that rank. I'm actually probably bronze right now. But if I try hard enough, I can... Ooh, is it? Ooh, we get the scout. I didn't notice that. I had these on A move. I was probably doing something else. But here we come, and Game Friend is surprised. I'm going for the depot or the sentry post, but we've got some mass repair out there already. Morph core above. And double repair, we decided that's not the way we want to attack, and I think that's wise. There's too much going on there. So we decided to come over here and try and put some damage on over here. Now, Play Weird decides, let's go find something maybe better to attack, although I'm thinking if I can, I might be able to get this creation chamber down. Play Weird's gone for this purifier here. And we see a Guardian Nexus going down in the base that's going to help out. The Creation Chamber actually gets abandoned. But at the moment, there are no units. A couple of my brutes come running in through the dangerous route here. The Purifier goes down. A Sovereign's Watch goes up. And we're going for another Purifier here. For the moment, we're just doing minor bits of damage. The purifiers aren't exactly core. I'm going back to deal with that creation chamber. There was a Sovereign's Watch on this array originally. And micring that Argent to keep my brutes occupied, which is quite wise. We are going to get the chamber here, and now we're going to start working on the array. The DPS on that array is high enough that it won't even be able to lift off, and it gets taken out. So at least for the moment here, we're doing alright, but Exos have shown up for Thanks. He now has a small enough force that he can come and at least harass us from the, and he tries to use that stutter step to keep them alive. And they are faster than the brutes, and he is able to run back to the safety of some flax. And look at how many sentry posts have been put up by Thanks over here. Another purifier went down, but it gets taken out. And we're trying to do our best job to take out Game Friend here. Exos come up, and ooh, I like how they're retreating their back to the safety of their base instead of going back around where they might have got flanked. And ooh, there's a flat cannon there I didn't notice in the back that's putting down some serious damage. And these units got cleaned up. But there's still Play Weird here on the low ground. No, he decides to retreat back. And I've got my own force here running into the sentry post. And for the moment, the sentry posts they're not flat cannons. They don't have any repair. And so I am managing to take out a couple of them here. There we get the mass repair. And it turns into a flat cannon. And oh my goodness, it out-survives by DPS as the Exos also show up, chasing my brutes and gone away. Scrappy rush here, but it's not clear that it's going to work. I think Thanks and Game Friend here have at least been able to hold so far. There was some pretty serious damage done over here. Game Friend is behind quite a bit. It's just struggling to stay a hold here, but does have a small army here. And it looks like some servos were being sent out to expand. They get sent home. My units are just chilling up here on the high ground while Thanks has been able to go and take out this healing camp. I do believe Play Weird has done the same back home for us. He's gone and captured a couple camps here. That's probably something I could be doing as well instead of leaving my units. Although my idea here was I wanted a soft contain, which forces them not to be able to take this expansion without pushing my army back, which is what they've done now. And I've pulled back to my production, but there is no real static D there other than the one farm. And the Exos are doing a good job of picking off some brutes here. And again, I'm mostly hoping that if they attack me up here, that Play Weird might be able to flank and go and put some more damage down below. So I don't really think I can hold this position. I'm just hoping that it can serve as a distraction. That's why I'm sort of fighting into this, trying to defend here as best I can, willing to like give up this position if I need to. And we see the army of Play Weird now circling around, and that's where these units from Game Friend are going to come back. And Play Weird's ready to deal with them. And at the same time, Thanks is still engaging my army here at my proxy. In fact, Thanks does have enough army here that if he does want to just push up, he can, and he does start doing that. I pull back. I decide that's not worth it. A lot of my units go down anyways. And now these buildings are being taken out. Meanwhile, down here, Play Weird's doing his best to keep Game Friend at bay. He's taking out this base again. And Game Friend, unfortunately, cannot defend against this on his own. And so Thanks signals he's going to come back to defend. Nice Magmadon play here. And here comes Thanks, able to counter this now. And Play Weird tries to retreat. One Magmadon gets caught. He sort of sacrificed System Shock to try and chase down the other one. And yeah, Thanks does get it. But Play Weird says, fine, let me turn and charge in here with my brutes. See if I can get some of those Exos. And does get a few of them before pulling back. Large medtech army here helping out. And Thanks is great at taking out effigies. Always targeting them down. Which you should be doing if you're playing Bio against an Infernal. And Play Weird doing a good job to try and just go back and forth with Thanks here. I think so far, even though our rush has failed, we're doing a good job of keeping these army away from our base for the most part. I say that as Thanks starts running into my base. He comes to kill that last vault that he had left. It goes down. And once again, Play Weird saying, hey, if your army's going to be over there, then I'm going to be in your base. I'll kill your production. This is our real only chance here, is to keep them in their base long enough for it, because we did a rush, and Play Weird was a little better on his eco. I've got my eco up now, but yeah, I love how Play Weird's just going to pull back every time the army shows up again. He just pulls back. I've been building more of a defensive force here. And this game has maybe stabilized into maybe a bit of a more regular game where we have a little macro on each side. With that said, Game Friend is still just struggling to get off one base. Game Friend has been on a single base this whole time. And that's mostly thanks to Play Weird coming in and sniping that base every time he gets a chance. We've got Thanks positioned here. And now that I can see the whole map, it might have been valuable for my units to come and try and push into Thanks' second base over here. And keep doing that back and forth, where whenever Thanks moves to defend his own base, maybe Play Weird moves out to attack Game Friend, and vice versa. We just keep doing that. And my units go and take out this Luminite, and there we go. We are swarming in onto Tank's base here, and the base is going to go down. We got focus fire on the command post. My units try and rush through, get behind some of the flat cannons and stuff. Basically, I'm trying to serve them as a bit of a tank so that Playweird's massive army can just wipe through the base. And sure enough, that is what's happening. If we can keep this going, if we can push in and maybe nullify this army, this could be it. Although we're seeing tier 3 upgrades, we got Purify. That's going to help charge up the medtechs. And one Trample getting in there. A few Exos going down. But, ooh, okay. The Hellborn have to retreat. And a better engage here. But, wow, lots of Exos triggering their tier 3 survival protocol to stay alive. While we're doing our best to melt this army, but no, it is staying alive. It is a very durable bioforce. Exos on the front line did their best. And one Hellborn, rather, going down. And that's a hold. That's a hold. Even though the base got wiped out, that's a hold for the cool team here. And GameFriend has been able to get out onto a third base now. And is working with Animancers. Here comes another force from me. Playweird's also making a new attack force over here. And it looks like I'm going for the health camp here. There is a base there. And, oh, here comes Thanks as well. So as that health camp gets engaged, Thanks shows up. And I retreat out of there. Thanks finishes it off. While also pulling servos up here to start another base. And at this point, the contain and the rush that we had tried to put down is starting to fail and crumple. As the cool team is starting to expand out. Here I want to play a little cat and mouse here over this tower, but I don't really want to engage all those Exos without, say, a flanking force or something. And I think Thanks senses that. And I was hoping to catch him a little bit out of position there, but he decides to run around. I feel like maybe I have an okay engage there. And was able to get a little bit of damage. And then I see Playweird's coming to try and flank. But actually it's Playweird's that's going to get flanked here. A lot of his Hellborn caught out of position. And I was hoping to grab on these Animancers and do the same thing. But as we see here, GameFriend drops a nice Dark Prophecies right on top of himself. And all my units were weak and then melted to the Exos. So it's really Thanks here who's been able to preserve this Exo force. Look at how well promoted they are from all the ranks of veterancy they're able to earn from staying alive for so long. And now he's pushing out. And he does chase my army back to the base here. And a very nice nano defense bubble, but he decides immediately I don't want to sit in there. Nightfall whiffs. And the Exos are being very punishing right now. We have a few Kree and Animancers down here. And, oh no, big Dark Prophecies. And we're doing our best to engage this force here, but it's starting to look like this army is gonna be enough to deal with us. Thanks' supply right now out matches both of ours put together. GameFriend has just been doing his best to try and support his Kree force, and his Animancers are a great way to have sort of a low supply army that still really helps out here. And we're going to see them push up the ramp here. One of the Shroud Stones going down. A bunch of nano defense bubbles will just keep these army safe, and that's going to be GG from us in this first match. Okay, folks, we're back at it. This is going to be game number 2 between us. This was not really an official best of 3, but we did play 3 games, and I thought I'd cast them. So here we are in another match between us. This is me. This is not me. This is Play Weird. And this is me. I'm Algorithmore. And our opponents yet again, we got Thanks and Game Friend. Wants to defend the servo. Okay, good idea. We got an overcharge, we got a bunch of servos heading out. But we have imps moving across the map. Moving across the map, and these are Play Weird's proxies. Oh, and he's gonna make full for production. I make 3 production in a farm. And my farm is there to just keep the creep up after my effigy dies. We get a second permanent effigy summoned by Play Weird. So he's got a slightly different build than me. Now I kind of just winged this. I wasn't sure what this proxy build was supposed to be, and I think his version is the slightly better version. Now he put his farm back here, see? So you still need a farm, right? That's also why I thought I put my farm there, but yeah, maybe this is the better one. You get a little more units out. So we're going to try and make this work this time. Now last time, only I proxied, and Play Weird played more of a normal build. And now we've got our first round of units out. And I've got my brutes out too, but I was waiting for my gaunts. And Play Weird's going right in the main, and this was my idea, is Play Weird go in the main, do some damage there, and I'll go into the Nat. There's a creation chamber there. I'm trying to hit the chamber because that's critical for Game Friend. Now, does he's got another chamber over here, okay. That's sort of that first tech, that if you can take out the chamber, then they might not be able to start building other things they might be looking at. I just tried to micro my brutes a little bit against the Sovereign's Watch. I thought, hey, maybe the Sovereign's Watch won't last very long, but I forgot these things last for a very long time. Starts melting some of my brutes, but nonetheless, Game Friend realizes I'm committed to this and picks up his array, and does have to pull it back. And in the meantime, what was going on in the main, I'm not sure. Play Weird did get some damage done. Came out to check to see if there was anything over here to harass. I've got my gaunt set on the collection array there, but then it's hiding over the trees, and we'll take this out. We want the healing here so that we can get the benefits of it. It's a hedgehog and some Argents starting to flow out for the hot team here, Thanks and Game Friend. And they're doing a good job of microing them back and kiting them into their static D to try and basically just get good, efficient trades against our brutes. We see our brutes going down here. I'm focus firing that one hedgehog, and it does go down. And another hedgehog goes down, another hedgehog goes down. And now we're just in the production trying to... Oh, another nice Sovereign's Watch here. And you can see how Game Friend is microing back his units to try and force our units to keep repositioning while taking damage from the Argents, while taking damage from the Sovereign's Watch. So that, again, he can maximize the defensive capabilities of those units. The Sovereign's Watch ends. We have Play Weird going for production, but the repair tech keeps it up. Meanwhile, in the back, some of my units are going for the chamber. They're not very efficiently. They're not focus firing it. Some keep repositioning to attack units that come up. And that's exactly what Game Friend and Thanks really need here. Ooh, and we get the repair turret going down. Play Weird doing a great job back here. A Vulcan pops out. This creation chamber is going to go down, but a Vulcan is really good against this tier 1 kind of harass from Infernal. And oh, the Vulcan finds a few of my gaunts. They ain't going to win that battle. Nope. Especially when there's servos, they're repairing that Vulcan. And the Vulcan wants to get coiled up and start mowing down these units. It's going to move out and try and push back these effigies, but these effigies have been helping us out a lot. You see I go hang out in the healing camp there as well that we've had for a while. This array and these prisms they're effectively dead, although the array has almost healed all the way back up. And Playweird's down here trying to attack this natural, which is really wise because it forces back the Vulcan, and now that gives me an opportunity to run in. Unfortunately, the repair turret there was out healing my DPS, but this does give us a chance to do that back and forth. And Playweird getting some really good damage over here on the natural. Takes out another repair turret. Going for that scrapyard and base. Meanwhile, I'm still just scrapping with these Argents. Where did that Vulcan go? Did it get taken out? I think so. And wow, more reinforcements for me. And Playweird has finished off this base over here and is starting to move into the main as well. This is all that's left for Gamefriend and Thanks. And it's starting to look pretty bad for them. Our army is definitely outsupply them. Both of us have the equal supply to them all told. So we're altogether double their supply. And it doesn't look like there's going to be any way for them to overcome this. There is the one strike node in the back, but it gets taken out. And now we're just seeing some of the... Oh, we got a Vulcan pops out. Oh, shields up on the Vulcan. This is the kind of hero Vulcan with the repair tech. That's exactly what you should expect. And once again, a clutch kind of last minute hold here. And oh, actually, I wasn't paying attention there. It melted all of those units from me. I do have another force. This was my rally down here, and I will confess I do not have my auto hotkeys set up. I think in 0.4 they got reset or something, and I never set them back up. Trying to get a little surround on the Vulcan there, but forgetting that Vulcans have jump jets and he gets away. And oh, Playweird notices that there's a base over here. And that base is going to go down. INFERNOP indeed. I will completely agree with that assessment from Gamefriend, which, as I mentioned before, Playweird and I are definitely not a match for these two players. And if our rush does end up beating them here, it is almost squarely because of the OP state of Infernal right now. So Frost Giant, if you're watching, two diamond level Infernals beating two Masters level players. Probably not right. And that's being very generous with my skill level, calling me a diamond level player. A couple Vulcans here though are like, they're the kind of defense you want. And we are pushing in though. Those two Vulcans doing their best. They're right next to the repair turret. Does he have the energy force shields up? It doesn't look like it, or he would have triggered it already. The other Vulcan, can he stay alive? Good. Somehow managing to out-repair the DPS for the most part, but no, goes down. Repair turret's going down now. I think this is going to be it. We do have one well-positioned strike node in the back there, but the power banks are going down, protecting it. And that's Playweird focus firing over there, whereas my units have just decided to go stand in the middle of all the servos and see what kind of damage you can do. And I don't think there's anything left that Gamefriend and Thanks can do. Servos going down in their repair hugs. And that's going to be it here. As the base goes down. And GG in game number 2 here. So put that on the wall. I beat Thanks and Game Friend with Play Weird. It happened. Alright, friends. We had to have a game 3. If this ended up being 1-1 and there was no resolution to determine who really is the greatest 2v2 team ever, then how would we ever sleep at night? So, sure enough, after ending up going 1-1 after that last match, we demanded a rematch. Thanks and Game Friend demanded that they could get revenge. And we demanded the right to prove ourselves as truly skilled players, not just exploiting the fact that Infernal is OP right now. Of course we're not doing that. This build is not an exploiting build. This is obviously, clearly a build that is meant to just play Infernal as they were intended to be played. You're supposed to build your buildings on the other side of the map. Oh no. I don't think my farm reached my conclave here. Maybe not. It doesn't matter. This build is so well practiced. We already destroyed them last time. Although there is a morph core floating out here and it did find us. And wait a second, how are there 2 lancers out? They went double racks? These blind countering doofuses. Just straight up blind countering us, sending 2 lancers. Now, I've heard on the Discord that 2 lancers cannot kill 2 brutes. There is a morph core up above, and a morph core can kill 2 brutes, so that's because brutes can't jump. At least not yet. They will be able to jump in the next patch, is what I hear. Because brutes are a little underpowered. They need jumping abilities. So Play Weird trying to get something done here, but we were expecting expos because that's what we found last time. No expos this time. And we are trying to skirmish them, but they got forces this time. There's 6 lancers out. 6 lancers that's a dangerous force against what we got here. And ay, this is why it's dangerous. This is what people tell me lancers can't do anything against brutes. No, they came in, cleaned up those gaunts, and now they're running away. A couple of them are low, that's true. But, oh, getting some healing cast from the arc ship, so you don't even need those med techs yet. And you're still doing good. My brute's coming up here. Again, seeing all the army up here being like, I don't really want to fight the lancers. I don't mind fighting some argents. Especially if they're by themselves. So far, we have not been able to get a lot done with our rush. In fact, 0 done. All we've been able to do is help these 2 make their 1 base defense really strong. Look at this. Buzzsaw, Lancers on one side, Lancers at the other ramp. There's just nothing we can do. And we have, look at, when you have this many units and they're just sitting here doing nothing, that is not at all what should be happening. Play Weird trying to get the camp, but at the same time, Thanks is feeling daring enough to push out with his Lancers, and his Lancers are, again, they're tough. They're good against this early army. When you have this many of them, their splash damage is really good against the Fiends, and we're seeing them here doing a great job. Now, I've pulled in around the outside to try and help, but the speediness of the Lancers, they can just retreat, and indeed they do, and they go to their ramp, and they get a really nice defense here in the ramp. They pull up the ramp to try and lure me into a choke, and Play Weird doing a good job of destroying the base at the bottom. So we are finally getting a little bit of damage done. We are going to take out this base. I'm using the ramp here to hold Thanks and Game Friend back while we destroy that base. That was my whole goal there, of not going up the ramp, but just trying to hold them back so our army could could deal with it. Now play weird. Ooh. I've retreated my units here and play weird's on his own. I would think I was trying to get that speed camp and also move to the other side and try and get that. We were successful last time with some two-pronged kind of aggression, so that's what I'm hoping to do here. But there's a lot of Argents now. Same thing, and Exo's out too. It's starting to look really, really dangerous for us. We really need to get up to some tech if we want to push up now. But Play Weird has got the second base up, but I only prepped my second base. I haven't even sent workers yet, and I had cut workers early. I think that's my worker going now. I maybe have got the brute charge upgrade. My brutes try to take out the health camp, but get caught by Game Friend's Argents. And that means a lot of losses for me right there, actually. It could have been valuable for me to try and take this base up here. This kind of... Ooh. Find some Exos for free, but now my brutes are out of position. And... I'm going for the Argents, actually. Maybe trying to get some of these Argents. But here comes the Bioforce from Thanks, and now it's 2v1. And even if I thought I might be able to get a little bit of damage done there, now I'm retreating all the way back to my production. And this is not looking good here. I try and go toe-to-toe to defend, but that's just my units pretty much melting. Few Fell Hogs run up to help defend, but the production here is going to start to melt. Nope. They pull back. They pull back because Play Weird doing his best to distract them from my base by sending his army in, killing some power banks. Really good target fire on power banks. I like that. That's how you hurt a Celestial. Get that Animancer too. Yeah. Go for those expensive units. I sent my last remaining brute here because what's the point? He doesn't get that power bank. But my production here is now vulnerable. Play Weird does have his rally and army still there. I do have my base up yet, but it's getting pretty late to get that base up, to be honest. I'm only at 20 supply. That's just workers only. And this base is going to go down. My income is also not really helping out here. It's going to be a while before my base gets up and ready to go. Play Weird has protected his and is able to keep hold of this camp. In fact, maybe if you were able to come down here and do a little damage. But we've got bases galore now floating out here for Game Friend. And Play Weird's also moving back with his forces. I'm trying to rebuild production, which is too late. I should have done that a little earlier as well. Play Weird is going up to a third base. We're trying to transition to some kind of macro game like we did a couple games ago, but we had committed much more to our all-in and had done way less damage this time. So it looks like Thanks is starting to move out onto Play Weird's production here, his proxy position, and there's nothing here that's going to be able to defend that. So we're going to watch that just get dealt with. At the same time, the Argents have pushed up here. I mentioned the bases that we're expanding. We're on to so many bases. I do have this base up, and I am starting to build a little bit of more production and defenses here. But it's going to take me a few minutes to, get up to a level where I can maybe deal with the armies that are on the map right now. Very large Argent force with some Animancers to help out here. Bioforce chilling in the speed camp for the moment. Getting those speedy speeds. And now looking for bases. We don't got bases. Argent's coming down the ramp. Finding some production here. Takes out the... I barely have any units to defend. I kind of want them to move in to my Shroud Stone range. Barely getting in range of the Shroud Stone, and my unit's getting melted. Farm going down, then focus fire on the Shroud Stone. We do have Play Weird moving in here and dodges a Dark Prophecy. Another Dark Prophecy, another Dark Prophecy. Really good Dark Prophecies, actually. Couple good Magmadons getting in there with some tramples, but they do not have their Demon Hoof Tremors yet. Again, a lot of our energy was spent on that early rush and all in. And these final brutes being cleaned up. A few Argents going down for their sacrifice. But that allowed Thanks to come in down here and get some damage. So Play Weird has tried to retreat back into that defensive position. That means that I'm on my own up here. I don't have a lot to defend. A little static D there. Here comes Play Weird trying to get some tramples into the health camp. Nice. With the Demon Hoof. Now Research able to get some stuns on some of those med techs and chase them out of the speed camp. But the poor Megs don't have speed, so they're slowly walking back. Maybe gonna get time to do one more trample, and indeed he does. Nice stuns, but gets Focus Fired down. And Thanks soaking up those speedy juices and allowing him to engage very efficiently with this army. Very nice trades here for Thanks. Nonetheless, Play Weird doing an okay job of holding. Whereas up here, the Argents and Animancers, same thing, back and forth, but slowly melting some of the defense there. Thanks decides to come in and go for a flank, and this is really, really clutch. He says, come in with me. I'm coming in the backside. Now, Thanks is at risk of being flanked as well, but my army has been taken out, so there is no flanking force. There's no anvil for the hammer to crash into. Indeed, now Thanks and Game Friend have united, and they have united to destroy us and prove to us that Infernals are only OP if they're cheesy and they get unscouted. Because with the blind counter here, we went down quite easily to these two. So GG, and I hope you enjoyed this best of 3.